when you're talking about not becoming a product of your environment, what does that really entail? I want you guys to write this one word down. Value. Value. So I had this thought. I want you guys to follow me. I can sometimes be animated, with my thought process. So I want you to think about this real quick. Everybody heard of a Rolex. Everybody know what a Rolex is, right? Yes, probably one of the most expensive watches out there, right? I mean, buku amount of money, right? And you say you got a Rolex, you doing good in life, right? Huh? $20,000, right? This Rolex, it's really expensive, it's precious. Like you don't even wear a Rolex every day. Like if you had a Rolex, like you probably wouldn't even wear it. You just keep it in a glass case in your house, with some lights and everything and the ropes going around it. Like nobody can touch my watch. This is a Rolex. Don't come near it or nothing, right? But what if that Rolex ended up on the shelf of Dollar Tree, right? It will do is what? It loses value. And that Rolex, as it's sitting on the shelf with everything, like at the Dollar Tree, don't even have name brand, forget it. It's a bottle of juice, right? It says juice. That's all it say. Ain't no Faygo, ain't no Minute Maid, no. It say juice. You got another thing say water, light bulbs, batteries, right? And nothing special about anything in the Dollar Tree. But yet you got this $20,000 watch sitting on the shelf. And the longer this watch is sitting on this shelf, it's losing its value. That's how I think a lot of us are. A lot of us, we don't understand the value that's built on the inside of us. We don't understand what's really going on. And because we're around a lot of different people who, don't understand their value and let their value depreciate, we sit around all these different people and we don't see where we could really be. We don't see the potential of where we can go. We don't see the potential where we can strive to. So we're going to add value to our lives. In order to really begin to grow and advance your life to the next level, you have to add value. Okay? So he talked about people that have been making, $100,000 in a week, $1 million an hour, all this other stuff, right? And we talk about like compensation and jobs like that. Like what makes the difference between a person who gets paid $10 an hour and $10,000 an hour, right? Those type of people exist. And who wants to be paid $10,000 an hour? Like who would like that? I would love it, right? But in order to become that person that gets that high compensation role, you got to be the person that adds that value and learn how to add value to the marketplace. So how do you add value? One thing you have to know is you need to know what you want to do. You need to know where you want to go in life. Yes.
Responsibility.
Responsibility.
Integrity and leadership.
Why is he not up speaking? I'm trying to figure out why am I up here? Responsibility, integrity, and leadership. Those are. Everybody write that down. What's your name?
Tim.
Tim. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
All right. All right, those are three big things that you need. Responsibility. You need to be responsible over your life. One thing that we try to do, and we have this proclivity to do this, or this tendency to want to do this, where we want to throw blame on everybody else. Oh, this person wasn't in my life, and that person wasn't there, or I can't get this job. They declined me here. I want to do this. This girl don't want to be with me. I mean, we got a whole bunch of excuses, right? And we say, this is why I can't be successful. This is why I can't have what I want to have. This is why I can't live my dream. This is why I can't have the house I want to have, etc. But we have to be responsible and say, you know what? I can take ownership of my actions. I can take ownership of my thoughts. A lot of times what we suffer from, there's one of my favorite speakers. His name is Zig Ziglar. And he talks about this thing called stinking thinking. Stinking thinking. In other words, we just always thinking negatively. It's like it's just always going to be bad. Have you ever thought about something like, it was like if anything could go bad, it will go bad, and then you thought of a bad thought, it didn't happen.
Right, yeah, that happened.
I'll never forget one time I was at church and we were having dinner at church, and those little fountains where you can go and get a little drink or whatever, and you just lift it up. And I was watching people go to that fountain. I was like, man, it'd be so bad if that thing just stayed stuck up. I was like, that would be terrible. And I kept thinking about the thing, like that would just be messed up. And so I went to go and get my juice. And I went and did that thing keep flowing. I tried to push it down and it wouldn't go. And juice just running all over the table and the floor. And I was like, it would happen to me, but because I kept thinking about it, it happened.
Yeah, that happened to me.
Right? I want you to write this down. Thoughts are things. Thoughts are things. What you think about day in and day out, it will happen. What you see, that vision of yourself that you create, it will begin to manifest. And so watch this. Here's a perfect example. Because I told you I grew up at King, and especially in high school, I always had this dream and this vision of being successful, but I didn't know how it would happen. I always saw myself in a better off position. I saw myself doing things that my family weren't doing. You know, O'Reilly, he talked about his wife. They come from a family of entrepreneurs. I didn't see that growing up. You know, I didn't see everybody like, oh, we making it. You know, even I had an uncle, he owned a construction company at one point. I had a cousin, he was doing catering at one point, but, you know, he's not doing that anymore. But it's like everybody works in my family, right? That's what I've always seen, especially my mom. I watch my mom work all the time, okay? But yet, I don't see this level of success that I have this vision of. But yet I see it every day. I kept seeing it. I kept envisioning it. Every time I thought about myself as an adult when I was a kid, I saw myself as being successful, and I saw myself as being skinny. So at least half of it is coming, you know, it's happening. You know, half of it is happening. I'm losing some, but I got some more to lose. Right. I used to be a lot bigger than what I am now. But that's another story for different day. But nonetheless, I kept having this vision of me being successful. I didn't understand how I was going to get there, but I kept seeing it. And as I kept getting older, I began to network with different individuals. Just similar with Riley, how he talked about, he started meeting people that started changing his thinking. Started getting around other people that say, you know what, I make this money on a regular basis. Started hanging around people that say, hey, this bill was $600, and they just say, okay, let me swipe it and keep on moving. Like, whoa, like, you just dropped $600 down like that? Usually, when I hear somebody need to go do $600, they need to make a ride to the bank, and then go to that cash advance, and then go here, make a few stops and a few phone calls, there's your $600. But no, they was like, boom. I was starting getting clients that was paying for almost $1,000 worth of product like in 20 minutes. Like, whoa, who are you? Like, I didn't know you existed. But it all happens as you continue to go forward towards that vision. So you have to know where you want to go. You have to know where you want to go. So being responsible in your actions. And then that integrity part he was talking about. Being integral, like, I'm going to be honest. Be an honest person. Somebody that people want to work with you. You know, that's what honestly would separate you from the majority of people. Because most people, they operate on this mentality of, I'm going to do just enough at work to not get fired. Right? I'm going to do just enough not to get fired. Yeah, I can see your hand. Say that first part one more time. Speak up a little bit. These are some smart people. I need to figure out what school they went to. And I need to enroll myself. That's exactly right. Work ethic, working ethically, you know, not just giving the minimum. Because people just operate that like, I'm just going to give very little, and you just going to say, I'm doing this. But most people that say, I'm going to go above and beyond, those are the ones who get that higher compensation. Those are the ones that add to their value. Those are the ones that get the better jobs and the better opportunities because they position themselves for greater. All right? I want to hear everybody say this. I will be great. Say it again. I will be great. I will be great. And when you say that and keep believing it, you begin to act like it. You begin to do those things. Because mentally, I see myself as a CEO. Not just say I own a business, but I see myself as a CEO. And the person of a CEO who I see, I start dressing differently. You know, I start like, on a normal day, I'm pretty much like this. If I don't have on a tie, I still got on some slacks and some dress shoes like almost every day because the CEO that I see, yeah, I do got on dress shoes. Yeah, I put them on this morning. All right. You know, but the CEO that I see, he's always dressed up. And not saying that I need to be dressed up all the time. I need to always have one because I had on a hoodie the other day, right? But it's the fact that I see myself in this place and I'm going to act like that. I'm going to act like the place I want to go. Because I have this belief that if you live each day like your dream has already come to pass, one day you'll wake up and it'll be true. You couldn't tell me when I was in high school that I would own 3 different companies. You couldn't tell me that. You wouldn't be able to pay me to say like you're gonna be real good. I don't know how much time I got, so I ain't gonna take up too much more time. But understand that in order to not be a product of your environment, you need to understand what kind of product you are. And you need to know that you are extremely valuable, that you have what it takes to be successful. Most people don't do it because they don't believe they can do it. Most people don't go after their dreams because they don't think that they can actually make it happen, okay? So one more time, say, I will be great.
I will be great.
Say it like you really believe it. I will be great.
I will be great.
Last time, I will be great.
I will be great.
You guys, some KV Banks, give yourselves a hand. All right, thank you.